It is an evening that could be best described as pure Michigan. Comfortable temperatures, sunny skies, and a Wolverine Conference showdown tonight as number 10 Paw Paw visits number 2 Edwardsburg on this edition of the 46th Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? With my Hall of Fame partners, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for the first of 2 top 10 showdowns in the area this weekend, and this one coming to you on TV 46. Bob, the Paw Paw Red Wolves come in with a record of 4-1, lost on opening night in overtime to Three Rivers. Since then, they've been on the move up.
They have been, and you know, it's been a tough assignment for them because almost every year they look like they're going to finish second behind Edwardsburg. Got a shot at them tonight, and they've got some outstanding defenders. Ethan O is a good, tough kid. Dennis Schreier will help them on offense and defense. They've got Sylvester, and they've got some people on offense that can run the ball. Leonard is a good ball carrier, so they're going to come out and give it their best shot, which is what you want them to do.
And the veteran coach Matt Stevens feels his team has been making progress each and every week.
Well, I think we're getting better. I think every week we're improving. You know, at the beginning of the season, you always want to get better. You want to fall forward and not fall backwards. You know, so I think that we stumbled a little bit in the first week, and our kids have rallied, and we've gotten better each week and had a good week of practice. So hopefully that continues to the rest of the season.
The Edwardsburg Eddies are ranked number 2 in Division 4 in the state of Michigan. They have won 34 straight regular season games. They have outscored their opponents this year 254-7. How'd they get this good?
Well, it's been a program, Chuck, that as we know has been good for a long time, and Kevin Bartz has done an outstanding job up here. And he gives credit to the players for the hard work they put in, the coaching staff, which has been very loyal to him, and the community, which just embraces this team. And this team has so much talent. You know, you look at a guy like, I've got a list of their running backs here, and you got Walker, you got Ostrander, you got McCulley, you got Allen, and that's not even all of them. And they give the ball to any one of them at a given time. The line is terrific, and that's what made them so good. And Kevin Bartz, I tell you what, coming in tonight has nothing but respect for Paw Paw.
You know, Paw Paw is very similar to us. You're going to see same type of offense being run, same type of mental and physical toughness as well. So, they're going to run the ball right at us. We've got to be able to stop their 2 good halfbacks and be able to keep their big tackles from getting off to our linebackers tonight.
The Indiana Hall of Fame running back Bo Hunt roams the sidelines tonight, and when we speak of teams in Indiana, usually it's Penn that has been viewed as the dominant team in our area. Well, Edwardsburg sure looks like they're the new Penn. How'd they get there, and how do you beat them?
I think the biggest step is they double their school size. They get people to come here, and they get a program that everybody can buy in. It's not just the kids, not just the parents. It's the whole community and surrounding communities bringing in and being known for that sport. Edwardsburg is known for this football team over the past 5-10 years, and I think that's one of the biggest things. How do you beat them? You just got to line up, and you have to believe you can beat them. You have to prepare for that offense that they run and prepare for multiple running backs, not just 1 or 2 guys.
A pair of teams that run the wing T, which means the number of passes you make might be fewer than the number you're allowed to make on US 12. We've got the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win coming up next on the 46th Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by TCU, Jordan Automotive Group, Bill's Heating, Intera Credit Union, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, St. Andrews Products, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome to everybody to the Turfmen Lawns pregame show as we get you ready for kickoff between Paw Paw and Edwardsburg. Time now to look at our keys to win, brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. And for the Paw Paw Red Wolves, they're led in the running game by Cullen Sylvester, 5'9", 160 pounds, and the senior. Sylvester has had a couple of 200-yard rushing games this year. And the man on the line is Dennis Stry, 6'7", 300 pounds, and a senior. He goes both ways on offense and defense, and he is a formidable force in the middle of that line for Paw Paw. Keys to win for Matt Stevens' team.
Well, Paw Paw's got to move the chains. They got to keep the ball away
from the Eddies. They got to limit the possessions. They got to make the clock be their friend, and they got to win the turnover battle. Edwardsburg doesn't need any help, as Matt Stevens will tell you. He's in his 14th season at Paw Paw.
Edwardsburg has a dynamic tandem in the backfield and also on defense. Jacob Walker is their leading rusher of the year. 23 carries, 286 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He rushed for 102 against Plainwell. And then Logan McCauley, the 5'11", 180-pound senior, dynamic runner, 23 carries, 152 yards, 4 TDs. He also has 3 interceptions on defense. The keys for Kevin Bartz and the Eddies.
Well, they want to avoid the big play. That can equalize a lot of work done by the offense for Edwardsburg. They got to control the down and distance. 4 or 5 yards is just fine. Move those chains and get a quick start. Tough to come back when you running a wing T offense, but Kevin Bartz and his team hadn't had to do that much. He's in his 27th season here at Edwardsburg.
Jose Valverde has the ball on the tee. That does it for our Turf Men Lawns pregame show. The opening kick sponsored by Papa's Pizzeria. Valverde on the approach. And we're underway on a beautiful night for football in Michigan. That's a touchback on the opening kickoff. 1st and 10 from the 20. The weather tonight is sponsored by Turf Men Lawns. 75 degrees, a gentle zephyr out of the southeast at 5 miles an hour. Not a chance of rain tonight. Wish we could say the same tomorrow. The quarterback for the Edwardsburg Eddies is Jacob Pagura, 6'5", 195 pounds and a senior, and he is also a very good runner. 262 yards on the ground this year on just 19 carries and 7 for 10 throwing the football.
St. Andrews Products brings you a check on the uniforms for tonight. The home team, the Edwardsburg Eddies, wearing blue jerseys, blue pants, and they have a blue helmet with a big red E on it. Paw Paw, the visiting Red Wolves, in the white uniform, white jerseys with red numbers, black pants, and red helmets with their logo on the side.
Logan McCauley on the carry, and he is greeted rather rudely by P.J. DeYoung, a freshman linebacker. McCauley with only a pickup of 1 on the play as we meet the Edwardsburg offense. The starting lineup sponsored by Smith's Chapel and Bullock Farms. We told you about the backfield, Walker and McCauley. They don't throw a lot, but Landon Michael is a weapon at 6'4". Offensive line missing Ben Miller tonight at guard, but Brennan Brady Britton at the other guard has had a marvelous year. It's 2nd and 8 for the Eddies. This wing tee, it's McCauley on the pitch, and he gets a seam. Logan McCauley is off to the races. Finally tripped up down at the 30-yard line. He had 1 man to beat, and Zion Davis brought him down. As you'll get another look on the Southwest Vision Center replay, McCauley behind a great block by Jacob Walker, and only the speed of Davis was able to bring him down at about the 29-yard line. That's a pickup of 50 yards on the play. And the first down sponsored by Smith's Chapel and Bullock Farms.
He had a chance to get him, Chuck, and the arm tackle, he ran right through it.
You see haze, that's from the smoke from the concession grills. As Pagura looks to throw, dumps one out there and finds his man. That's Jacob Walker. And Walker puts a shoulder into a man and takes it down to the 12. Another first down sponsored by Smith's Chapel and Bullock Farms. Just the 3rd catch of the year for Jacob Walker. As we meet the Paw Paw defense. Across the front, Caleb Lucas, 6'6" at defensive end, along with Dennis Stry, 6'7" at the other end. The linebacking core is light but fast, led by Max Harvey. And in that secondary, you already saw the speed of Zion Davis on the tackle.
Pretty good pickup on a pass that we didn't expect him to throw.
1st and 10 from the 12. The handoff to Isaiah Swartz. Swartz with a spin move, and he takes it down to the 3. Somebody hit the little red button on their controller that time, and Swartz made a dandy little move for a pickup of 9. You get another look from Southwest Vision Center, and watch at the end of this play. Whoop! Gets right by the man there and picked up another 4 yards before Carter Planger brought him down.
Our check on the uniforms tonight, as the players looking good, and so can your team. St. Andrews Products has the finest in apparel, well as promotional products. Reach us at sales at standrewscorp.com.
The handoff comes to Logan McCauley, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Logan McCauley with his 5th touchdown of the year. It's sponsored by Tony Godeski Farm Bureau Insurance, and that did not take long. A 5-play, 80-yard march to pay dirt for the Eddies. And the bell rings here at Leo Hoffman Field as Edwardsburg gets ready to try the extra point with Trevor Houseworth.
Trevor Houseworth will be attempting the extra point. Doing the holding, number 11, Logan.
The snap is not done yet, and we have an offside penalty called against Paw Paw. Let's see if Kevin Bartz changes, and he will. He's going to go for 2 here. So with the half the distance penalty against the Red Wolves, that moves the ball inside the 2-yard line. And Pagura and the offense come back out.
Well, when you're averaging well over 3 yards a carry.
Eddie's now going to go for the 2-point conversion. Again,
the T formation for the Eddies. Walker in the middle of that group. And it's Walker taking the handoff into the end zone for 2. So Edwardsburg wastes little time. 2:07 on the opening drive, and the Eddies smash it in with Logan McCauley. 8-0 Edwardsburg on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Antera Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it.
Folks, Papa's Pizzeria, proud to support the Eddies and proud to feed our crew this week. Open for lunch and dinner. You got to try the monster 20-inch pizza. Pizza bread and excellent breadsticks, all available for you at Papa's Pizzeria.
The crew, as usual, well sated. As you see the series history, Edwardsburg has won the last 12 in a row since Paw Paw won the first meeting back in 2010. Last year, Edwardsburg beat them twice, including 43-0 in the playoffs.
Our sincere thanks to the wonderful team at St. Andrews Products for supplying our broadcast team with the finest in apparel. They look the same. They can do the same for your team, school, or business. Promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and much more. Reach us at sales@standrews.com.
Trevor Houseworth with 32 touchbacks on the season will do the kicking for Edwardsburg. Zion Davis and PJ DeYoung back deep, but they'll watch this one sail on by. And Paw Paw will start it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line with Matthew Hartman as the quarterback. The 5'10", 175-pound junior has thrown 1 pass in the last 3 games. His job is to hand it off to those running backs in the wing T formation.
Well, we saw how effective that pass was for Edwardsburg, kind of unexpected, picked up 17 yards and helped on that 80-yard drive. They did it in 5 plays, 2:07 off the board, and the Eddies on top, 8-0 with the 2-point conversion.
But you see the size on the right side of that offensive line as Paw Paw strolls out to the line of scrimmage. And it's a pitch back to Cullen Sylvester, their leading ball carrier on the year. He has to work hard for a couple of yards as we meet the Paw Paw offense. With Sylvester in that backfield, Logan Leonard and Carter Planger. Big tight ends, but they don't throw to him. Caleb Lucas, 6'6". And then Dennis Stride Jr. anchors the offensive line. All conference a year ago and a 3-year varsity starter. It's 2nd and 8.
Turfman Lawns is proud to support the Eddies. Turfman Lawns will keep your yard looking beautiful with fertilization, weed, grubbing, and insect control, as well as core aeration and overseeding. Learn more at turfmenllc.com.
3-yard pickup here for Cullen Sylvester as he's brought down by the heart of the Eddie defense, Landon Michael, and we meet this Edwardsburg defense. Michael having the best year along the defensive line. Connor Ostrander in there leading the linebacking core. A.J. Oberon sick tonight, so Mikey Pryor gets the start. Logan McCauley with his 3 interceptions heads up the secondary. It's 3rd and 5. Paw Paw trying to take as much time as they can to A, give the defense a rest, and B, try to whittle down the play clock. The handoff to Planger. He finds some running room, and Carter Planger has a 1st down for Paw Paw out to the 32-yard line. You'll get another look on the Southwest Vision Center replay.
Planger did a nice job there and exploded through the hole.
First down and 10 from the 32.
So 1st and 10 for Paw Paw. Hartman hangs onto it himself on a quarterback bootleg, and that did not fool Edwardsburg one iota, as he is brought down in the backfield by Isaiah Swartz, the cornerback. Swartz, a sprinter on the track team, and he showed it there.
Congratulations to the Eddies on a fantastic start. Jason Service Center is a Napa Auto Care Center and follows the strict code of ethics, allowing them to maintain the highest standards. Jason's Auto Truck Service Center, your trusted hometown center where the job gets done.
2nd and 11 here for Paw Paw. Gandalf Church, the former St. Joe Bears head coach, now the defensive coordinator for Edwardsburg, signaling out the play. Sylvester trying to get around the outside, and he does a pretty good job of it. Cullen Sylvester showing some pretty good wheels there as he goes out of bounds all the way up past the 40-yard line to set up a 3rd and 2. Again, the Southwest Vision Center replay after the pickup of 9.
Before Time Workforce Solutions wants to give a shout out to the Eddies. Great start to the season, fellas. Before Time handles everything from time clocks to attendance, from payroll to HR, serving clients nationally and locally.
Patrick Schlomfoot with the tackle that time on the play, as you see the terrific crowd we have here at Leo Hoffman Field tonight. Community really out supporting this school on senior night. Here's the handoff to Planger, and Planger bowls his way up for a Paw Paw first down out to the 43-yard line. Boy, this is the way Matt Stevens would draw it up right now, Bob, because they're getting 3 plays to move the chains and take time off the clock.
Boy, and every time that happens, you know, again, a couple of plays here to bring up a 3rd down and 3, a 1st down and 10.
Edwardsburg already leading 8-0. As you see the Eddie Band entertaining the crowd here at the ball game. There's Matt Stevens on the far side, 6th year at Paw Paw. He's made the playoffs 3 straight years, 86 and 45 in 14 seasons overall. Has had coaching stints also at Bangor and Matawan. Handoff up the middle that time, and not much doing for Logan Leonard. He got a couple of yards on the play, and that's about it. Leonard, a 5'8", 180-pound junior.
Bruce's Truck and Auto Accessories reminds you that the remote start season is almost here. Call to schedule your installation today. You need to tow your RV or boat? Bruce's can handle an install there on most vehicles in about 90 minutes. Come to Bruce's and get your Rhino lining sprayed, in truck bed, and the liner and the WeatherTech products are all available. Bruce's Truck and Auto in Matawan.
2nd and 8. Look how tightly Paw Paw lines up, and they hand it off to Sylvester again. A little jitterbug move, and then he is brought down hard at the 49-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the play that time for Sylvester, as you get another look at it from the Southwest Vision Center replay. Blake Ludwig came over and made the hit. There you see Stevens with his quarterback, Matthew Hartman. Hartman, member of the baseball team, also at Paw Paw. Played some tennis in his career with the Red Wolves as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, tennis is a great game. If it hadn't been for the nets and the lines, partner, I think that'd have been good.
3rd and 5. Hartman hands off. Great cuts by Sylvester, and he gets the first down. Boy, Sylvester with some shiftiness in the backfield that time. Gets up to the 46-yard line and gets a first down. That's one of the things that Matt Stevens mentioned about this young man, and he shows it on this little 6-yard jaunt.
Big pickup, another first down.
First down and 10, ball 46.
So the ball at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10 for Paw Paw. And we've already gone well past the midway point of the first quarter.
Nice play of the drive coming up here.
On 1st and 10, oh, what a hit in the backfield. Jacob Edwards came in and rocked Zion Davis's world. Back at the midfield stripe, you get another look from Southwest Vision Center. Best not to leave that young man unblocked.
Wow.
Loss of 2 on the play.
Carmi Design Group is a proud supporter of high school athletics with over 30 years experience. Carmi Design Group continues to successfully design and manage K-12 school projects in Michiana. Contact us to discuss turning your vision into a reality. Visit carmi.biz For a full description of services, they say go Eddie.
2nd and 12, high snap, they give it to Zion Davis, and Davis has room to run. Davis is headed to the end zone, that's a Paw Paw touchdown. Zion Davis shows the wheels on a little end around, and he winds up taking it 48 yards to pay dirt, and Paw Paw does something only one other team has done against Edwardsburg this year, and that's score.
Wow, what a explosive run. And again, one of the things that Paw Paw has done so far, partner, is they have shared the ball just like Edwardsburg does in the backfield.
So a dynamic 48-yard run by Davis. It's an 8-6 ball game, and it looks like Matt Stevens is going to go ahead and go for 2 here. He doesn't want to waste opportunities when he gets them against this Edwardsburg squad.
What an impressive drive. 6 minutes and 19 seconds.
So Hartman under center. Long count. Now he hands it off, and Sylvester can't make it. He is brought down by Jacob Walker at the 2-yard line, and so it remains an 8-6 Edwardsburg lead. But let's get another look at the Southwest Vision Center replay on the Zion Davis touchdown. And look at the blockers he had in front of him, but he didn't need them. He just raced by everybody. And then on the 2-point conversion, Walker makes a terrific read here to come in and make the hit.
Proctor Auto has been serving the area for 20 years and is a proud supporter of Eddie's Athletics. If you want honest and reliable service for minor or major repairs, schedule an appointment with Proctor Auto Repair in Edwardsburg.
Let's quickly go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. And Bo Hunt, you're getting your first look at the wing T this year from both of these teams. What do you think of this offense?
Well, it's not similar to the Mishawaka or New Prairie or Warsaw offense that we're used to. It's just a little bit tweaks to it. I think the biggest thing is the blocking out of the backs in the backfield. We see a lot more of that, and the quarterback as well. You'll see a lot of times the quarterback will do just a little bit of a quick, sweet pitch, and he will lead block on that as well. So you get all these blockers out front, and a lot of times it's a little difficult to pick it up, even for me down here in the sideline, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, this wing T was started at Delaware by a former Michigan running back, Dave Nelson, popularized by the Delaware coach Tubby Raymond and Iowa's Forrest Evashevsky back in the 50s. But the principle is still used throughout college and NFL football even today. Jose Valverde on the kickoff for Paw Paw. And this kick will bounce and trickle into the end zone for the touchback.
Tony Gadelski, Farm Bureau Insurance, is a proud supporter of the Eddies and offers home, auto, life, farm, and business insurance. Visit Tony Gadelski, Farm Bureau Insurance today. They're at M62 in Edwardsburg.
So Jacob Pagura and the Edwardsburg offense come back out with only a 2-point lead. That's the first time that anybody has been that close to Edwardsburg this late in the ball game. I say this late, we've only played 8.5 minutes. Handoff in the backfield, and it's about a 6-yard pickup this time as Isaiah Swartz takes the handoff and takes it out to about the 26-yard line.
Nice pickup again by Schwartz. Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school sports in Michiana. They know all about teamwork. They provide components for the aerospace industry as well as medical, automotive, military, and defense. IFT, quality is a way of life.
2nd and 4. And Pagura on play action finds a wide open Landon Michael. Michael is brought down at the 48-yard line by Cullen Sylvester, but it's a first down sponsored by Smith's Chapel and Bullock Farms. Kevin Bartz was joking with Matt Stevens before the game. He said, I'm going to throw it 50 times tonight. Well, he's done 2, and he's ahead of pace for the year.
Well, he sure is.
And Pagura now 9 of 12 on the season. That was a 22-yard pickup as Michael makes his 3rd grab of the year. 1st and 10 from the 48. Cowbells ring and a collision in the backfield. Pagura keeps it himself and somehow makes something out of this. Oh, did he ever? Taking it out to the 33-yard line. A 19-yard pickup for Jacob Pagura and a first down sponsored by Smith's Chapel and Bullock Farms. Southwest Vision Center replay. But by the time we got to that point on the field, Pagura had already weaved his way. And now we've got a injured player for Paw Paw as Dennis Stride Jr., their big defensive tackle, limps off the field.
Southwest Vision Center wants to congratulate the Eddies on a great start to their season. Southwest Vision Center is the home of the most patient-focused optometrists in Southwest Michigan. Schedule your appointment today at southwestvisioncenter.com. Southwest Vision Center, quality care with a personal touch.
1st and 10 from the 34. Pagura hands it off in the backfield, and it's Jacob Walker taking it up to the 24-yard line. That's a pickup of, well, we'll call it 10, actually 9. They'll spot it short of the first down marker. So a 9-yard pickup for Walker, who had 102 yards in their win over Plainwell.
Yeah, I think he's just a little bit short of that first down.
Walker, a hurdler and a high jumper on the Eddy track team. He checks out. Andrew Colvin checks in, but it's Isaiah Swartz on the carry here. Swartz bobbing and weaving and even and leaving. Touchdown, Edwardsburg. 25 yards, no flags. The touchdown sponsored by Tony Gadeski, Farm Bureau Insurance. And Isaiah Swartz finds pay dirt for the second time this year.
See what the Eddies want to do. It looks like they're going to kick. 2-point conversion here would give them a 10-point lead, but they'll line up that extra point team.
Well, they lined them up last time, and then when Paw Paw jumped offside, that's when Edwardsburg decided to go for 2. Trevor Houseworth out of the hold of Logan McCauley. The snap, set down, and kick are all good. And with 1:55 to go in the first quarter, Edwardsburg has opened up a 15-6 lead on Paw Paw. And again, the Southwest Vision Center replay, arm tackles don't work.
No, they don't. Folks, Dan's Treat Service wants to congratulate the Eddies on a great start to the season. Dan's Treat Service is a wide range of services offered, including bush removal, stump grinding and removal, tree pruning, and much more. Call today for a quote on your next project. That number is 361-9747.
So Edwardsburg out to a 15-6 lead. This is an Eddies team that averages 50 points a game. So they're ahead of pace right now.
Folks, the American Legion Post 365 is proud to sponsor the Edwardsburg Eddies on TV 46. Don't forget Fish Fries Fridays, the first and third Friday of each month. And Take Two is playing on November 6th, open to the public for this event. For more information, check them out on Facebook.
So Trevor Houseworth gets ready to tee it up. He had a touchback on his last kickoff, and as we mentioned, he has had now 33 touchbacks on the season. One of the better kickers in Southwest Michigan, but Cullen Sylvester waits back at his goal line just in case, as Houseworth gets ready to kick one into this gentle zephyr of 5 miles an hour blowing it in.
80 yards, 5 plays again.
Wow.
For Edwardsburg. Took just 2:09.
Houseworth with a high spinner. Sylvester takes it at the 2. Sylvester heads left and has blockers out there. And finally, Edwardsburg able to corral him down at the 27-yard line. So the Wolverine standings brought to you by Before Time Workforce Solutions, with Edwardsburg leading Paw Paw and Plainwell and Vicksburg by a game. They've already beaten Plainwell and Vicksburg, so they get the win tonight. They will have victories over all of their nearest competition.
Elite Performance Center on M62 is a proud supporter of Eddies Athletics. They offer everything from athletic-specific training to group classes for cycling, bar, and yoga. Visit ElitePerformanceCenter.net for more information.
So Paw Paw had an excellent drive on its opening possession, but they still find themselves trailing by 9 here on their second possession of the game.
Big thing that Paw Paw did in that first drive, not only get a touchdown, but they ran 6:19 off the clock on their drive, which covered 80 yards and 10 plays.
Not sure what the delay is here, but Bob will take advantage.
We can tell you about Smith's Chapel and Bullock Farms. They're proud supporters of Eddie's Athletics. Beautiful, affordable venues for your wedding reception, corporate event, or family reunion. Learn more at thesmithschapel.com.
So the chains were tangled on the far side, but they've got those straightened out now. Important that they do measure 10 yards.
It's required, isn't it?
Kind of what the game's based on. There's Carter Planger on the handoff, and Planger was able to get about a yard or two on the play before he's brought down. Planger had the touchdown in overtime against Three Rivers.
Didn't get much, but he got some, and that's a good start to the drive.
Paw Paw looking at a 2nd and 9. And you see the play clock in the lower right corner of that Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Most of the time, Paw Paw would like to get that down under the 10 mark. Not this time, however. They hand it off to the first man through, Logan Leonard. He takes it up to the 32-yard line, and that'll set up Paw Paw with a 3rd and 6.
Another 2-yard gain. Folks, Amore Pizza wants to give a shout out to the Red Wolves. Great start to the season, fellas. Come on down for fantastic sandwiches and outstanding pizzas, including Chicago style. At Amore Pizza, when you're at our table, you're always family. Amore Pizza.
Are they doing one of those deals like they did in Remember the Titans, where the team eats free after wins, and then remember they had to erase that sign? Handoff up the middle, and a pass over the middle. Well, that's not something that we're used to seeing from Paw Paw. Troy Vandenberg was able to take it out to the 47-yard line as Matthew Hartman wheeled and threw a bullet up to Vandenberg. And Vandenberg, the sophomore, gets the first down at the 47. And that will do it, perhaps, for the first quarter here. Paw Paw is walking over to the sidelines like they want to take the quarter break. Matthew Hartman waves them back out. I think they probably do have to run one play here before the quarter ends.
Boy, our quarterbacks both doing a nice job. 16-yard completion there for Hartman.
That's only the second pass he's thrown in the last 4 games. Here's Planger taking it up the middle, battling, and he'll take it into Edwardsburg territory as the first quarter comes to an end. So touchdowns galore here at Leo Hoffman Field. Logan McCauley got us started in the scoring column. Zion Davis answered for Paw Paw. And then Isaiah Swartz took it to the house. And it's 15-6 Edwardsburg after 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Bo Hunt comfortable down on the sidelines tonight with the Bill's Heating Sideline Report. And Bo, your thoughts on this one through 1?
Well, we talked before the game, and they talked about what it's going to take to beat this Edwardsburg team in the regular season since they haven't been beat since 2017. And 2 things come to mind. And one, the first thing is answering every score that Edwardsburg has. And so far, Paw Paw's been able to do that. They've been able to, that first drive, go right down the field. It took them 3-4 downs to get the first downs, but they moved the ball, they sustained drives. I think that's one of the biggest things. And the other things is turnovers. And Edwardsburg doesn't turn the ball over that often, but you got to have turnovers as well, guys.
Edwardsburg in the first quarter, 152 yards rushing, 39 passing, 191 total. Paw Paw, 69 yards rushing, 16 passing, a total of 85. Pretty good start for the Red Wolves. Folks, the Green Jacket at Four Lakes in Edwardsburg is proud to support the Eddies. Open to the public Friday, all-you-can-eat fish and extended hours on Fridays for Eddie's games. Come check out the Green Jacket at Four Lakes.
2nd and 4 for Paw Paw at the Edwardsburg 48 to begin quarter number 2, and a flag thrown and whistles blown. We can meet our officials for tonight's game. Larry Monsma, Larry Brewer, Randy Gross, Randy Picard, and Dennis Austin working tonight's game. And our second quarter is brought to us by Dan's Tree Service.
5-yard penalty against Paw Paw. Somebody got in that neutral zone. There's 2 penalties so far in the ball game for a total of 7.5 yards, both against Paw Paw.
And now the Red Wolves looking at a 2nd and 9. For years they were the Redskins, and then just changed it a couple of years ago to Red Wolves. Here's Cullen Sylvester trying to find running room around the outside, and there is none, thanks to Logan McCauley, who gets out there and makes the stop for Loss of 1 on the play.
Lori Bauer State Farm in Edwardsburg is proud to support the Eddies. Call Lori Bauer State Farm for your home, life, and auto insurance needs.
Like a good neighbor, Logan McCauley was there on the play.
Certainly was.
So a 3rd and 10. Now we just saw Matthew Hartman convert one with a nice little pass over the middle to his tight end Vandenberg, but let's see, the Eddies are looking for that here. Shotgun look, they direct snap to Sylvester. He handed off to Carter Planger, and Planger was not fooling the Edwardsburg defense that time.
Ball carrier is Carter Planger.
Watch everybody on this play. So many bodies moving. Matthew Hartman was stopped right away by Michael. The philosophy here for Edwardsburg, just tackle everybody in the backfield, and one of these times you'll be right.
Over the years, we've seen teams do that with teams that run this type of an offense. Sometimes it's pretty successful.
So 4th and 10. And Paw Paw will line up in punt formation here as Logan McCauley waits back deep. A little bit of a high snap. Paw Paw took its time. Vandenberg's punt sails high into the October night. Bounces and takes an Edwardsburg roll up to the 36-yard line. So not much of a punt. It was 17 yards with no return.
Front Door Real Estate Team is proud to support the Eddies in tonight's game. Licensed in Michigan and Indiana. Call Front Door when you're making your next move. Front Door Real Estate Team, opening the door to your dreams.
So Jacob Pagora back out there, quarterback. He had a very solid drive in drive number 2. Actually, both drives have been solid. Both have been 5 plays, 80 yards. So this is Edwardsburg's best field position of the night. They'll pitch it back. And on the run here for the Eddies, and taking it out is Isaiah Schwartz, and he's got one man to beat, and they're not going to get him. 63 yards and an Eddie touchdown. Isaiah Schwartz having a night. It is senior night. He was one of the last ones introduced, but he is introducing himself to the Paw Paw defense. Schwartz virtually untouched on that 63-yard run, thanks to Southwest Vision Center for the replay. And the Neon students here enjoying every minute of it at Leo Hoffman Field.
One thing the Paw Paw did not want to do is give up a big play. They've been doing a pretty good job of staying in the ball game. 111 yards rushing now for Schwartz in the ball game.
Touchdown sponsored by Tony Godeski, Farm Bureau Insurance. Trevor Houseworth on to try the point after. Out of the snap of Logan McCauley. A little bit of a high snap, but the hold is good, and the kick is too. And with 10:51 to go in the first half, Edwardsburg behind Isaiah Schwartz, just like the defense was, leads at 22-6 on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week brought to you in part by St. Andrews Products, providing quality apparel to the PGA and to the 46 Sports Group.
Muffler Man and Paw Paw is proud to support the Red Wolves. Come to Muffler Man for your auto repair needs. Muffler Man is a full-service shop dedicated to top-quality auto repair for all of their customers.
The amount of offense that Edwardsburg puts up on a regular basis, they average 403 yards a game. 80-yard drive, 80-yard drive, 67-yard drive. That's 227 right there.
They're on their way.
Trevor Houseworth to put it into play. The kick sponsored by Papa's Pizzeria. Cullen Sylvester waits back at his own goal line.
Hoping to give Paw Paw a big play here.
And Houseworth knocks this one towards Diamond Lake. 1st and 10 for the 20 for Paw Paw.
Thomas Brothers Equipment Sales in Paw Paw congratulates the Red Wolves on a great start to the season. Since 1936, Thomas Brothers has specialized in out-of-the-ordinary farming needs.
So now Paw Paw finds its back up against the ropes here. Nothing unusual for an Edwardsburg opponent to be in this situation in the first half. You're down 16, and you find you got to make every possession count. Paw Paw did such a good job on that first possession. Let's see what they come back with here. A little bit of a power eye here And they'll pitch it to Sylvester, the trailer. And Sylvester is strung out to the outside. Boy, did Kevin Bartz work on that with his defensive backs at practice on Tuesday. And Isaiah Swartz comes up and makes the tackle here. But look how well Edwardsburg just weaves this to the outside.
Stretch it out, get the other troops in there, and make a 2-yard gain. Looks like it's going to be much more.
Connor Ostrander at linebacker did a good job of forcing stuff outside.
Sporty's Pub and Veranda Grill want to give a shout out to the Red Wolves on a great season so far. Sporty's is open while the street is under construction, so come on down for great burgers, smoked pulled pork, and brisket. Boy, that sounds good.
Handoff, and again, nothing there in the running game. Edwardsburg really starting to assert itself as Jacob Edwards came up and made the stop on Cullen Sylvester. And Sylvester was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Partner, it looks like Edwardsburg, again, got what they want. They got the lead. Now the defense is looking to step up and get it done.
Well, and the other problem here for Paw Paw is Edwardsburg is really starting to assert itself at the line of scrimmage.
April's Teapot Dome Restaurant is a proud sponsor of Red Wolves Athletics. April's Teapot is at the corner of M51 and Red Arrow Highway. Stop in for the best breakfast and lunch in town. They're open 7 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Hartman's going to scramble. Hartman, though, can't get anywhere close to the first down as Connor Ostrander comes up and makes the hit, along with help from Jacob Edwards. The Southwest Vision Center replay will show you Hartman did a good job to get out to the 23-yard line here, but it's 4th and 7.
Boy, that pursuit was really impressive.
Edwards, for a defensive lineman, runs very, very well. So again, Troy Vandenberg has to line up in punt formation. And last time, Vandenberg with only a 17-yard boot. He gets much more of this one. It's taken back at the 48 by Logan McCauley. He avoids one tackler, gets a couple of blocks, and then gets clotheslined at the 40-yard line. I don't see a flag, but boy, what a hit put on to McCauley that time. And they'll actually give him out to the 38. We got screened out by the official there, but Michael Rio with a flying tackle that time.
Put a hit on him, but boy, they love to get Sylvester and those guys in the open field, give them a chance to create a play.
And now a whole new crew of running backs in for Edwardsburg. This is what they do. They just come at you in waves and wear you down.
The starting field position on the night now for Edwardsburg.
And the run goes up the middle this time. And it's Andrew Colvin on the carry. Colvin with 11 carries for 66 yards on the year. And Colvin picks up 4 on that one to make it 2nd and 6.
I don't know if I have room for any more running backs on my
You better come up with some, because they'll throw last week they threw 12 out there. It's a pass, and under pressure, Pagura uses the speed to elude tacklers, still on his feet, and finally brought down from behind for a sack back at the 37-yard line, or 36-yard line. A loss of 2 on the play as Carter Planger makes the stop for Paw Paw.
The outside is a proud supporter of the Eddies Athletics. The outside in offers massage therapy, holistic wellness, infused oils, as well as a sauna and all-natural homemade soaps. Visit The Outside In on Facebook to learn more. That's The Outside In.
Edwardsburg does not find itself in this kind of down and distance often. It's 3rd and 9. The handoff comes to the second man through, and Jacob Walker is bottled up right at the line of scrimmage as well. Caleb Lucas with the hit. Actually, it's Connor Ostrander who's brought down by Lucas. It's 4th down for Edwardsburg. 4th and 9 at the 37. Kevin Bartz 3 of 5 on 4th downs this year. The Eddies have only punted twice this season. And they're not going to punt here.
Now they're in plus territory. They will take their shot.
Pagura on 4th and 9 wants to throw. Under pressure, and it's intercepted and could be a pick 6. Going the distance is Cullen Sylvester. Sylvester all the way for a Paw Paw touchdown, and it's a ball game again at Leo Hoffman. Cullen Sylvester's second pick six of the season. And the young baseball player makes a nice snag in the outfield here, and then has the presence of mind to turn it back to the inside and keep the Edwardsburg defenders on their heels.
Well, keep in mind when you make a pick, you're trying to run it back against mostly offensive guys, and that time he was able to get the progress he needed, got an angle, and he was gone. Wow.
Paw Paw, after failing on the two-point conversion earlier, sends out the kick unit here, but they're going to take a timeout.
Folks, TCU is a better banking institution where you'll get the latest technology, and you're never too far from a friendly face. Discover the TCU advantage. Become a member today at TCUnet.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
So earlier tonight, Before Time Workforce Solutions decided to be our graphic sponsor, and we had this graphic all ready to go. Edwardsburg has not committed a turnover this season. Well, now they have, and it was a costly one for 6 points.
Boy, it was.
Take another look at the interception, this one from our wider camera, and watch the job Sylvester is able to do here. That ball was tipped as it went out of Pagura's hands.
I think it was.
And Sylvester was able to take advantage of the defensive play.
And again, he picks up a good angle, and you got your quarterback there. He doesn't want to risk getting hurt, so he did the best he could, and it's a touchdown on defense. You look at that scoreboard, they got a chance to make it a 10-point game.
And I think that's exactly what Matt Stevens looks at is, I've got an opportunity to really make it a touchdown and field goal game here. I'm going to go for it. Sylvester is the tail of this power eye, but Hartman wants to throw and has a man in the end zone. It is caught for the two-point conversion. Troy Vandenberg with the snag. This is a beautiful catch by Vandenberg in the corner of the end zone. Watch it again on the Southwest Vision Center replay. And that ball was on the money, and that's a one-hand grab for the two-pointer.
And by the way, some really good defense there by Edwardsburg. You can't do any more without a penalty.
They might want to consider that as a Sports Center top 10 nomination tonight.
Man. That Edwardsburg sideline needs to get pumped up. They haven't seen much of this kind of action going on. Folks, Papa's Pizzeria is proud to support the Eddies and proud to feed the crew this week, and we appreciate it. Open for lunch and dinner. You got to try the monster 20-inch pizza. Pizza bread and excellent breadsticks also available. That's Papa's Pizzeria.
So a 22-14 Edwardsburg lead. What an entertaining quarter and a half we've had here.
Terrific.
Jose Valverde puts the ball on the tee. Valverde 5'10", 235 pounds and a senior, but he is an excellent kicker. He has had 4 field goals so far this season. Logan McCauley is back deep. And Valverde's high spinning kick will have to be taken by one of the up men if he gets there, and he did just in time. And Edwardsburg makes this pay. Look who it is again. It's Isaiah Swartz, who is having himself a night.
Oh, he is. We've seen some teams this year, Chuck, going against teams with good return men who kick it out of bounds. They eliminate an opportunity for a big play, and that one was close to being on the sidelines. But, boy, Swartz came in and made a terrific, terrific run.
So now Pagura trying to redeem himself after the interception that allowed this to become an 8-point ball game. And Pagura gives it off to Isaiah Swartz, and look at him go! He's gone! Unbelievable! 65 yards, no flags. Isaiah Swartz may go over his season number here in the first half. He came into the night with 132 yards rushing. Well, he has that on his 2 touchdown runs tonight.
176 yards here in the first half.
Huffing and puffing, but not minding it at all when you get to the end zone.
No, and I'll tell you what, he go right over to the lineman and thank them for opening a good hole there.
That's something every Edwardsburg running back I talked to this week said. We can't do it without those guys up front. Trevor Houseworth is on to try the point after. The touchdown sponsored by Tony Godesky Farm Bureau Insurance. The extra point sponsored by Papa's Pizzeria. 6:40 to go in the first half. You don't need caffeine to stay up tonight. You're getting enough energy from this. Isaiah Schwartz's second touchdown of the night makes it 29-14. Eddie's on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned.
Turfmen Lawns is proud to support the Eddies. Turfmen Lawns will keep your yard looking beautiful with fertilization, weed, grub, and insect control, as well as core aeration and overseeding. Learn more at turfmenllc.com.
Well, we're going to have a delay here because the sprinklers have come on at Leo Hoffman Field. So the humidity is rising.
I think they're just trying to cool everybody off, Chuck. We've had such an electric first half.
Well, that gives us a chance to go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. I think Bo turned these on just so he could get some more airtime. But, Bo, I seriously wanted to ask you about Isaiah Schwartz. He's been spectacular, but how much of it is him and how much is that offensive line?
Well, it's a little of both. I mean, you guys talked on that offensive line. I mean, they're opening up some great holes, but he's able to get not only to the hole and through the hole, but make the cut afterwards. He's able to pick up that 7 to 8 yards, but everything he's done after that has been the cut back, or just that first cut and getting north-south. He just does a great job of really not juking too much on the inside of those lines and really getting through as fast as he can, making that one cut and then going. Guys?
Johnson Sprinkler Systems brings you the, no, we don't, but there we go. That reminded me of the Pittsburgh triple overtime game with Notre Dame.
Yes.
After the first 2 overtimes, all of a sudden the sprinklers came in because the game was supposed to be over. And everybody who was in the stands who hadn't been to the facilities in a while went running down the aisle. Water will do that to you.
Well, Trevor Houseworth is ready to kick it deep. Zion Davis waits back at the goal line.
We're going to have to extend our halftime, partner, for you to get all these highlights in.
It has been electric. Davis from the 2. Davis wants to come right up the middle of the field. Oh, did he get dough popped right there at the 28-yard line. A beautiful hit that time for Edwardsburg by the kicker, Trevor Houseworth. How about this? Watch the kicker come up and right there, put the big shoulder into him.
How you like me now?
Oh, and his teammates love that. Look at their reaction.
That was a tackle by a kicker.
Wow. So it's 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. I think that might be the first time I've ever used the sentence kicker and dough pop.
Oh, man, we've had a lot of heroes in this game already. I mean, some great offensive plays, no question. Schwartz has just been outstanding.
Here's a handoff trying to go up the middle, and there was no room to run for Nico Martinez that time. Martinez getting his first carry of the night. And the 5'5", 162-pound senior was pretty easily knocked off his pins at the line of scrimmage at 2nd and 10.
Again, you get a look at Matt Stevens trying to get some fresh bodies on that field when he can. Good to see Stride back in the ballgame.
Well, and actually there's 2 of them on this team. Dennis wears 72. His 14-year-old brother, Darren, wears 69. And that's who you saw earlier. Now you see Dennis out there. Here's the handoff to Sylvester. He is able to turn his body and lean forward, pick up maybe about 2 yards on the play. Landon Michael is in there to make the stop that time for the Eddies. Michael, a strong young man. He weighs 245. He benches 245.
Third down and 7, ball for 32
Pretty impressive program up here at Edwardsburg, and just maximizing what all the young men have to give. And Kevin Bartz, hard to believe, 27 years at the helm.
And when he began at Edwardsburg, this school and this program was nothing like it is now. They have made such great strides up here in the community, and he has been a big part of that as the football coach. On 3rd and 7, Hartman hands off to Sylvester, and Sylvester puts his head down, but Jacob Walker, Jacob Edwards in there to make the stop. Only a pickup of 2 on the play. It's 4th and 5 from the 34, and you would think it's punting time for Matt Stevens' team.
St. Andrews Products is celebrating over 30 years of serving corporations, high schools, and colleges, as well as the PGA Tour. We're proud to support the new American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan, providing resources for the Folds of Honor mission in providing scholarships to veterans and their families. Let us help your cause. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com, where your expectations become our standards.
High snap, but Vandenberg hauls it down. And his punt is up there and takes a nice Paw Paw roll down at the 40-yard line. So again, good field position for the Eddies as they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 40 with 4:13 to go in the half.
Congratulations to the Eddies on a fantastic start. Jason's Service Center is a Napa Auto Care Center and follows a strict code of ethics, allowing them to maintain the highest standards. Jason's Auto Truck Service Center, your trusted hometown center where the job gets done.
They'll sponsor our halftime report tonight, where you'll get to meet our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. Bob will be the shorter of the 2 people on the left side of the screen.
You're talking academically?
Well, physically, you weren't measuring up too well either tonight. No. Next to one of the guests is Jacob Walker, carries it for about 6 yards. You were fine with Ben Miller, I'll say that.
Yeah.
So Walker actually credited with a 7-yard run that time.
Where you get an idea again, partner, about how this Edwardsburg team does what they do, because they pass the ball around. You got no idea who's going to get that ball.
I'm going to guess Swartz here. No, Pagura kept it himself, pulled it away from Swartz, and Pagura at 6'5", not easy to bring down. Caleb Lucas finally got him down at midfield, or actually the 45-yard line. It's a first down sponsored by Smith Chapel and Bullock Farms. But we've got a nice Southwest Vision Center replay of this handoff. He'll ride with and then took it right out of there. And actually might have made a better read if he left it with Swartz that time. Hard to be critical of a play that went for that much. 1st and 10 at the 45. Paw Paw coming on a blitz, and they were able to get to Jacob Walker that time after a pickup of 1. That's one thing Kevin Bartz was concerned about, was how much blitzing Matt Stevens and his defense would do tonight.
Pretty good effort right there. Folks, Before Time Workforce Solutions wants to give a shout out to the Edwardsburg Eddies. Great start to the season, guys. Before Time handles everything from time clocks to attendance, from payroll to HR, serving clients nationally and locally.
So it's 2nd and 9. Again, the T formation, and jumping along the line of scrimmage, Pagura changed his cadence well and drew Paw Paw offside.
3rd penalty of the game. All have been against Paw Paw, but just for a total of 12.5 yards.
This one, though, changes the progression from 2nd and 9 to 2nd and 4. Much more the territory Edwardsburg would like to be in.
Ball for 39-yard line.
This is, well, it's a 2nd down and 4. I'm going to say they've only had like 1 3rd down.
Fumble on the play, and I think Edwardsburg was able to get on it. But Pagura had problems getting the snap, and big Dennis Stry was there just in case he had any ideas. But a costly snap because they go from 2nd and 4 to third and a long 6. A.J. Godesky, the offensive coordinator, also the baseball coach here at Edwardsburg. You know, we're talking about the weather before the game, said you don't get weather this well during the baseball season.
No. They might have forced Edwardsburg into a passing situation. Is that possible?
Probably not. Here's Schwartz again.
Schwartz in the backfield?
And Darren Stry is able to make the stop this time, right around the 37-yard line. So it'll be 4th down, the clock ticking. Let's see if Kevin Bartz wants to use a timeout here.
Well, you knew it, one of the reasons they were able to run the ball there is you knew it had to be one of those 4-down situations. They're going to take 2 downs to get that first down. They're fine with that.
4th and 3. Remember, it was a 4th down conversion attempt that led to the interception by Paw Paw that was wound up being a pick 6. But here they're going to keep it on the ground with Schwartz, and why not? He's off to the races again. His 3rd of the night. 2 flags on the play, though, so hold everything because that may well be what happened.
They're penalizing Schwartz for running too fast. Boy, is he quick. I think it's going to be a holding call against the Eddies.
Whatever it is, it will likely take points off the board as everybody is starting to walk backwards. And Bo Hunt down on the sidelines, what are you seeing?
The second one happened right in front of me, and that's definitely going to be a personal foul on Edwardsburg. The first one, it looked like it might have been a holding call, so both penalties might be on Edwardsburg here.
Kevin Bartz a little disheartened by that, as the holding call is made against Edwardsburg. And then a personal foul against Edwardsburg.
And I think he raised his hand, so it's a dead ball foul. So
which means that both would be enforced.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can see either one of these on the Southwest Vision Center replay.
No.
The only thing I can think of that might have been called for a personal foul was when Schwartz came up with the fingers there. But it was back, the flag was way back at the 25-yard line. So they will march off first the hold and then the personal foul, and they may be walking for a while here.
Edwardsburg did not have a penalty before that play. Now they've got 2 for 30 yards.
And all of a sudden, you went from having points on the board to looking at a 4th down and forever, and for only the 3rd time this season, the punting team will come out on the field for Edwardsburg. By the way, we're in week 6.
That's right. And give credit to the Red Wolves that came in here ready to play. They've had some moments. They'd love to have a good kick return here.
And now a timeout called by Edwardsburg because Kevin Bartz wants to talk it over with his squad.
Now we get to talk about one of the big attractions up in Mattawan. That's Bruce's Truck and Auto Accessories. I remind you that remote start season is almost here. Call to schedule installation today. You need to tow your RV or boat. Bruce's can install a hitch on most vehicles in about 90 minutes. Come to Bruce's and get your rhino lining sprayed in truck bed. And the truck bed liner and WeatherTech products, they've got it all at Bruce's Truck and Auto Accessories in Mattawan.
We saw the night the Penn Kingsmen got their first win of the year, and they haven't been stopped since. Now they're hoping to go all the way to an NIC title, but that road goes through Amzie Miller Field in New Carlisle, and that's where we'll be next week as Penn visits the 10th-ranked New Prairie Cougars in a key NIC Big School showdown. We'll have it for you Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46.
You'll get to see one of the premier running backs in the state of Indiana for the New Prairie Cougars.
Noah Mungia having a fabulous year, ranks 3rd in the state of Indiana in rushing. But that Penn defense going into the night has not allowed a touchdown in the last 10 quarters.
They got it figured out. And they've had some young people really matured, come along well. Nice thing is they never stop believing in what they do.
Trevor Householder averages 29 yards a kick. The snap and the kick, and he got it out of there and booms it over the head of Sylvester. And it's going to die inside the 5. It was touched at the 5-yard line. Wow, what a kick by Householder. 51 yards, no return.
They're going to say the ball went in on its own momentum, even though the players touched it.
Kevin Bartz fired up on the sidelines, and you can understand why. So Sylvester avoids it there, and they're going to say right there, by not downing it and kicking it into the end zone, that makes it a touchback.
Yeah. I think Kevin Bartz is saying that exactly to the officials. I think he touched the ball back there.
And I can understand why Kevin would feel that way, but you can see on our replay it did not.
Yeah. Pretty nice punt, though. 70 yards.
Larry Monsma explaining things to Kevin and why that was a touchback. And Kevin says, you can tell me what you think all you want. I disagree.
And that's what coaches do. You look at Matt Stevens there. He's got to be very proud of the effort he's gotten from his team tonight.
I'll be curious to see how he handles this last 51 seconds because Paw Paw gets the ball to start the second half. And you don't want to do anything too crazy here and take the chance of a miscue or a pick six as Paw Paw benefited from. So they'll keep it on the ground with Cullen Sylvester. And Sylvester trying to reverse course, and he's still on his feet. Sylvester finally gets knocked out of bounds on the Edwardsburg sideline after a 13-second run that wound up picking up 5 yards.
Ran about 25 yards to get 5.
Connor Ostrander really lowered the boom on him that time at the 23-yard line. So Matt Stevens talking things over with his junior quarterback, Matthew Hartman. Stevens, 51 years old. He's been married to his wife, Tammy, and they have 6 kids. So when he's not coaching the Paw Paw group, he's got almost a JV unit at home.
It's not a bad idea.
Although a lot of the kids are grown and out of the house now, Matt says. Here's a handoff up the middle, and Logan Leonard had nowhere to go that time. And Kevin Bartz wants to use a timeout with 30 seconds left. Clock still ticking, and finally, Bartz gets his timeout at the 28-second mark.
Coming up at halftime, we'll recap all the highlights and give you the stats in the first half. And we're going to visit with a couple of outstanding young players as well. Our halftime will be brought to you by Jason's Service Center.
And don't forget, we have college football on the radio Saturday on Pulse FM. We get you started with homecoming in West Lafayette as the Golden Gophers of Minnesota visit the Purdue Boilermakers in Ross-Ade Stadium. That's kickoff at noon, and then at 103.1 FM at 7:30. Indiana tries to knock off Penn State for the 2nd straight year, but this year they have to go to Happy Valley, and the Nittany Lions are a much better football team than they were a year ago. We'll see if Tom Allen can make the magic happen Saturday night at 7:30. Pulse FM, your home for Big Ten football. Michigan has a big one with Wisconsin tomorrow. Michigan State will be taking on the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky, who gave IU all they could handle last week.
They did, and those Iowa Hawkeyes in action tomorrow.
So they're going to change the clock to 32 seconds because that's when Kevin Bartz was calling the timeout.
Game tonight did get started a little bit late because of the travel involved for Paw Paw.
Well, like many communities, they have problems getting buses sometimes. So, by the way, it's a final at Benton Harbor tonight. The Tigers beat Calloy Norix 36-25 and pick up their first win of the season. They will hand it off, will Paw Paw. And Carter Planger carries it, and Edwardsburg will use another timeout here to force Paw Paw to kick the football on 4th down with 26 seconds left in the half. So 4th and 3. And you have to think Matt Stevens' message to Troy Vandenberg here is kick it as deep as you can.
And cover it well. Folks, Proctor Auto has been serving the area for 20 years and is a proud supporter of Eddie's Athletics. If you want honest and reliable service for minor or major repairs, schedule an appointment with Proctor Auto Repair in Edwardsburg.
Bo Hunt will be talking to Kevin Bartz as he leaves the field at halftime, but let's go down to Bo for a Bills Heating sideline report. And we don't see Paw Paw at all, really. This is the first we've ever done one of their games, Bo, but your impressions of the Red Wolves so far?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is Matt Stevens has really got these guys believing that they can come out here and compete against a team like Edwardsburg and a community like Edwardsburg, that they put together this type of a program. And they're out here and they're not backing down at all, even though they're down 15 late here in the second quarter. They still believe that they have a chance and they're going to go out there and put their full fourth effort into this game, guys.
So looking at a 4th and 3. Paw Paw trying to make sure everybody's on the same page for this very important punt play. Paw Paw has finished as the Wolverine Conference runner-up to Edwardsburg each of the last 3 years. And quite frankly, they're a little tired of it. But Matt Stevens understands that there is a lot of ground to catch up. When last year they lost 43-0 in the playoffs, they seem to be making some progress here.
Seems to be like the teams that were in the Big East Conference with Connecticut. Somebody's got to finish second.
High snap, but Vandenberg got it out of there. End-over-end kick, which will take a Paw Paw roll, take more time off the clock, and be down by Planger at the 40-yard line. So Edwardsburg has 18 seconds and 1 timeout to play with here at the end of the first half.
In the closing seconds of the first half.
But we have seen twice tonight some lightning strikes from the Eddies, and both of them from Isaiah Swartz. So let's see what A.J. Godesky dials up here.
And Tony Godesky, Farm Bureau Insurance, is a proud supporter of the Eddies and offers home, auto, life, farm, and business insurance. Visit Tony Godesky, Farm Bureau Insurance today. They're on M62 in Edwardsburg.
Pagura with 18 seconds left in the half. Hands it off to Jacob Walker, and Walker takes it up to the 48-yard line. And will Edwardsburg use its last time out, or will they try to get a playoff here? 4 seconds, 3. Pagura gets the playoff, and he hands it off to Isaiah Swartz, who is thrown down at the 46-yard line. It's a first down sponsored by Smith's Chapel and Bullock Farms, but that'll do it for the first half of play. As the teams leave the field, and Paw Paw trails Edwardsburg at the half by a count of 29-14. Stick around, we've got our halftime stats and highlights coming up on the Jackson Service Center, or Jason Service Center halftime report next on 46.
And welcome back to Edwardsburg High School. We have a chance now to visit with our student athletes of the week. Brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Well, we might have a first here tonight. We've got somebody who's number 1 in his class and somebody who's number 2 in his class. And then what am I doing here? Well, I'm doing the interview. So we're going to talk to Ben Miller in just a moment. Right now, Dennis Duraya is with us. He's from Paw Paw High School. And Dennis, congratulations on all your achievements in academics and athletics.
Thank you, sir.
A lot of hard work. You really have to be disciplined about your time, don't you?
Oh, most definitely. Got to work in the classroom and the field.
You're involved in 3 different sports, basketball, obviously, and then football and also track and field. What do you do in track and field?
Track and field, I like to throw the discus and love throwing the shot put.
There you go. And you've got some plans to go to college. You haven't decided where that's going to be yet, but what do you want to study?
I want to study some form of engineering and pursue a job in engineering, because that's something that'll always be around.
Yeah, absolutely would. Are you involved in any other activities here at Paw Paw?
Well, I'm on our student council, I'm on our NHS, and I just do just about anything that's like volunteer work for our school and our community.
Great community, too. We're really excited about having Paw Paw on tonight, and we wish you all the best. Give a shout out to people that have really helped you along the way.
Well, I definitely want to shout out my dad. He's a teacher, and I'd love to shout out my mom because they taught me everything I knew from a young age. But most definitely, I want to shout out all of my teachers that have made an impact on my life. Every single one of them has done something great for me.
Well, you've done a great job, too. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you, sir.
Dennis Stry from Paw Paw High School, and now we're going to turn our attention over here to Ben Miller. And Ben, you've done a great job as well, and congratulations on your success.
Thank you, sir.
Talk about what it takes to get that done. I mean, we talked about time management a little bit, but you really have to have priorities, don't you?
Yes, sir. There's a delicate balance between work and school, and getting the job done on the field, getting the job done in school, and succeeding that way.
And sometimes your buddies want to go for pizza, and you've got a paper due.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about the things you're involved with at Edwardsburg High School.
So I play football. I'm the NHS president for our class. I'm involved in the Science Olympiad, and pretty much everything I can do, get involved in the community. So.
And the way it goes at Edwardsburg, they want all their students to be busy and involved in things.
Yeah, for sure, everyone.
Great. And your college plans would involve studying a certain field. Let us know what that is and what your hopes are where you're going to go to college.
So I'd like to pursue an aerospace engineering degree, and love to go to Notre Dame, stay here in South Bend, Edwardsburg area. So.
I wish you all the best of luck with that, and you're certainly qualified. Number one in your class. It's quite an accomplishment. We congratulate you on your success. Give a shout out, if you would, to all the people that have been behind your success.
Yeah, so definitely my family, my parents, my sisters, my grandparents. You know, they're always pushing me to do the best I can and keep working. You know, my school has been supporting me the whole way through, all my teachers. Thanks to the whole Edwardsburg community. So.
That's great. And anytime you mention your sisters 3 months from Christmas, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Good luck to you, Ben.
Thank you, sir.
Ben Miller from Edwardsburg High School and Dennis Sarai from Paw Paw High School, our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. They might invite you to go online at tcunet.com. Find out how you can become a member today. We're back with some halftime stats and highlights in just a moment. We're in Edwardsburg, Michigan for the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Halftime at Leo Hoffman Field in Edwardsburg. The Edwardsburg Marching Band entertaining the crowd here on senior night. And it's 29-14 in favor of the Eddies as we continue the Jason Service Center halftime report. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. And partner, this is one of the more competitive games we've had all year.
It really is, and Kevin Bartz was exactly right. You know, he was talking about how Paw Paw is the toughest team on their schedule during the regular season. They showed up ready to play tonight. We've got ourselves a ball game. But boy, I'll tell you what, there were some highlights in that first half.
Well, highlights aplenty, so let's show you how it got to be this way in Edwardsburg tonight. Eddies went 5 plays, 80 yards. Logan McCauley capped the drive with a touchdown, 8-0. But Zion Davis came back with a 48-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion failed. It was 8-6 at that point. Isaiah Schwartz began his big night with a nice little spin move right there. Took it on in for the score. 15-6 Edwardsburg, and then Schwartz would strike again, this time from 67 yards away, and Edwardsburg looked like they might romp. They led it 22-6, but on a 4th and long, Edwardsburg decides to go for it, and Jacob Pagura is picked off by Cullen Sylvester, who will bob and weave his way all the way to the end zone. A pick 6 with the extra point on the 2-point conversion made it 22-14. The next time Edwardsburg took the ball, it was Schwartz again, his 3rd touchdown of the night. He has been electric, so has this ball game. 29-14 Edwardsburg at the intermission. The Edwardsburg stat board looks like a Jerry Lewis tote board from the telethon.
It really does, and the things that stand out to me, 310 yards rushing, and yet their time of possession was about 7.5 minutes. And the reason that it was just a little bit low at the time of possession, which you say is always overrated as a number, but is because they scored real quickly. And they had 349 total yards to 91 for Paw Paw in that first half. Remember, Paw Paw got one of the touchdowns on the interception. Penalties, not a big factor. Turnovers, Edwardsburg had the only one tonight. And, 9 first downs for Edwardsburg, but 6 for Paw Paw. They've been able to move the ball a little bit. But, again, the Edwardsburg Eddies, what a team. What a group of running backs in that backfield.
But Paw Paw gets the ball to begin the second half. And if they can make something happen on that drive, you never know. But so far this year in Edwardsburg, it's been sweet music. And not all of it provided by the band. The football team has been playing well, too, and hitting all the right notes. They are still undefeated, and they lead Paw Paw 29-14 at the half. This has been the Jason Service Center halftime report. Friends, this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. And a way of life here at Edwardsburg is a great student body. It's neon night down there. The joint is jumping. Guy that's always dressed in neon. Bo Hunt, we have to tame him down with the gray coverall out there. But, Bo, your thoughts on the first half, and what did Matt Stevens, the Paw Paw coach, have to say at halftime?
Well, I thought it was just a great first half. We come up here, we want to expect a lot of running from both sides. We saw some passing. We saw Edwardsburg not have any turnovers all year, then have their first turnover for a pick 6. And I did get a chance to talk to actually Kevin Bartz and talk to him about the adjustments for the second half. I go, you're up 15 points going here into the second half, but it wasn't all bells and whistles there and what you guys scripted. And he goes, yeah, exactly not. We made a lot of mistakes, kind of shot ourselves in the foot a few times, and then our running backs didn't quite hit the holes how we were supposed to. So we made some adjustments with some of the holes they're supposed to hit. Besides the long runs, he said, we didn't run the ball too well. I was like, might have disagreed with him on that.
Only about 310 rushing yards for the Eddies in that first half. I'd hate to see what happened if they actually did hit the holes well.
Remember talking to Bart Starr one time at a luncheon, and I said, what was the mantra up there with the Green Bay Packers? He said, in the pursuit of perfection, you'll achieve excellence. And so Kevin Bart's never happy when it's not perfect, but he knows that in the pursuit of perfection, they're pretty good.
And Trevor Householder gets ready to kick it away for the Edwardsburg Eddies. Our third quarter tonight brought to us by our friends at Dan's Tree Service. Cullen Sylvester, the deep man for Paw Paw. Red Wolves with a critical drive here at the start of the third quarter. And they'll have to start it from the 20 as Householder booms that one into the end zone.
Remember when that was such an exceptional play to get in the end zone? Now the kids can do it pretty regularly.
A lot of good kickers in this area, and Householder can put his name among them. So 1st and 10 from the 20 for Paw Paw. The Red Wolves had a big run from Zion Davis in the first quarter. But since that time, their offense has been rather stagnant. We'll see what adjustments Matt Stevens was able to make at the intermission.
They were 1-out-of-1 passing in the first half.
And Matthew Hartman, the quarterback in there, running a power I here with Cullen Sylvester at the tail of that group. And Sylvester with a stop-and-go move and lost the football, and Edwardsburg has it. And they're running it back. Isaiah Swartz, have yourself a game. Isaiah Swartz with the fumble recovery, and he takes it back inside the Paw Paw 10.
Isaiah Swartz recovers the fumble.
The ball popping loose, and the Elite Performance Center replay shows Swartz nearly had his 4th touchdown of the night. Carter Planger had to bring him down at the 5.
Bo Hunt, that name is Schwartz.
Likely talking to Bo after the game. The handoff here to Logan McCauley, and McCauley didn't quite make it to the end zone. He'll be spotted down at the 2.
And just short of the goal line.
So it's 2nd and goal from there. Connor Ostrander checks in for Swartz and brings the play into quarterback Jacob Pagura.
Ostrander, a very good ball carrier, but he hasn't carried the ball tonight, but doing a good job on defense.
Ostrander out there along with Walker and McCauley. Pagura gives it to McCauley, and he's into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night. The touchdown sponsored by Tony Godeski, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Edwardsburg widens the lead to 35-14. You get another look from the Elite Performance Center replay. Good blocking up front, a terrific block from Sam Slocum, who kept his man away from McCauley. Trevor Houseworth on to try another extra point. The kick sponsored by Papa's Pizzeria. McCauley, after scoring the touchdown, has to settle himself down to make the hole.
Played less than a minute. We got a touchdown and a turnover.
Snap, set down, and kick are all good. And Edwardsburg now up 36-14, just 52 seconds into quarter number 3.
Edwardsburg 36, Paw Paw 13.
Folks, the Carmi Design Group is a proud supporter of high school athletics with over 30 years experience. Carmi Design Group continues to successfully design and manage K-12 school projects in Michiana. Contact us to discuss turning your vision into reality. Visit carmi.biz for a full description of services. And they are saying, go Eddie.
Paw Paw's trying to find a way to do what no team has done since October 6, 2017. That school was Three Rivers, the last one to beat Edwardsburg during the regular season. The Eddies have won 34 consecutive regular season games, 28 of those being here in the Wolverine Conference.
Well, a number of years back, our good buddy Ross Perry, who passed away recently, was the head coach up here at Edwardsburg. And at that time, the school was a lot smaller, and the success was limited, but he always said he loved the community up there when he was coaching.
That's a great area. The community has really grown over the years. Papa's Pizzeria sponsors the kickoff here from Trevor Houseworth. And let's see if he is able to duplicate the touchback on the opening kick of the second half. Another line drive kick into the end zone for the touchback, so Houseworth continues his solid night. And now Paw Paw really find themselves in a hole with a 22-point deficit just 52 seconds into the stanza.
23 minutes left to go in the game certainly is doable, but again, when you look at what Edwardsburg has done over the years and certainly this season, it's a tough comeback. They did go away from the wing tee a little bit. Jack, they went to the I formation, different look.
But Sylvester lost the handle, and Edwardsburg was able to quickly turn that turnover into something special. So they'll go right back to Sylvester here, and he takes the handoff up to about the 23-yard line to pick up a 3 on the play. So 2nd and 7. And that was good of Matt Stevens, I think, to go right back to his workhorse Sylvester, who has been the man for Paw Paw for most of the season. He's had a 217-yard game in their loss to Three Rivers this season. They'll give it to Sylvester again. Nope, that's Carter Planger that time, and Planger takes it up past the 25, up around the 27-yard line, setting up Paw Paw with a 3rd and 3.
Planger with 19 yards on 6 carries tonight.
And we've got an injured Eddie down on the field. While they tend to him, Bob, a word from one of our sponsors.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Our 3 Indiana locations are involved with supplying process components for aerospace giants, including the latest developments for Boeing and SpaceX. At IFT, we are like the teams in this game, always working toward a great finish.
Isaiah Swartz, the injured player down on the field, had such a terrific ball game so far. 3 touchdowns, a fumble recovery, a dynamic kick return. But the trainer is really looking at his ankle down there on the field. So we will take a break with 10:20 to go, 3rd quarter. Edwardsburg leads Paw Paw 36-14. You're watching the TV 46 high school football game of the week. This edition of the TV 46 high school football game of the week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. Well, the good news is Isaiah Swartz is standing over on the sideline for Edwardsburg as he was helped off the field. Meanwhile, on 3rd and 3, it's Cullen Sylvester taking the handoff and powering his way past the 30-yard line for a Redskin first down, or a Red Wolves first down. Throw the $5 into the pot.
Finally got you.
Yep.
Like a lot of schools, they changed their mascot a few years back. Going by the Red Wolves now.
So 1st and 10 from the 30 for Paw Paw. And it's kind of a difficult position here for the Red Wolves from the standpoint, yes, you're down by 22, so you want to show a little sense of urgency. But the problem has been your defense really hasn't been able to stop Edwardsburg much tonight. And so you still want to stick with the game plan of taking time off the clock. They get about another 3-yard run right here, taking it up to the 33-yard line. It looked like Logan Leonard might have been the ball carrier that time. And it'll be 2nd and 7. There you take a look at Matt Stevens over on that Paw Paw sideline. He's been there for 6 years. They were a throwing team before he got there, but he managed to get the players to buy into this wing tee, and he's been very successful with it. Here's a pitch out now, and no room to run that time as the Edwardsburg defense shuts down Cullen Sylvester. As you take a look at Isaiah Swartz over on the sideline, the trainers all keeping an eye on him, watching as he appears to be very tender on that right ankle.
Might have his playing time limited the rest of the night. Obviously, there's a lot of season left to go, regular season, and then the tournament.
Yep, 3 games left in the regular season. Remember, in Michigan, not everybody makes the tournament like Indiana. 3rd and 7. Hartman wants to throw. Rolls out, fires, and puts a bullet into the belly of Logan Leonard, who dives forward and gets the first down. What an effort by Logan Leonard. He caught that ball 5 yards short of the marker, but managed to spin around, and you get another look here on the Elite Performance Center replay. Leonard had to carry Jacob Walker the last yard or so, but managed to stretch out and move the chains.
Nice effort. We haven't seen any drop-off in the effort for Paw Paw. The kids are playing hard out there. Folks, Southwest Vision Center wants to congratulate the Eddies on a great start to their season. Southwest Vision Center is the home of the most patient-focused optometrists in Southwest Michigan. Schedule your appointment today at southwestvisioncenter.com. Southwest Vision Center, quality care with a personal touch.
Good hitting that time on Zion Davis by Connor Ostrander. And the Western Michigan baseball commit comes over and makes the big hit right here. Ostrander getting right in there, and then when they saw the ball loose, everybody's starting to get a little feisty there on the field.
Reminds you a little bit of the old Ray Scott call with the Packers. Oh, Nitschke. Need I say more?
2nd and 14 now.
Get people wondering who Nitschke was.
Google it.
Yeah.
Here's the turn by Hartman, the handoff to Sylvester, and he's met in the backfield as well. Edwardsburg all over the play that time, as Blake Ludwig came in and made the hit. Ludwig, a member of the wrestling team here at Edwardsburg. A lot of multiple sport athletes on this Eddie squad. And they have pushed Paw Paw back into a 3rd and 16.
Well, the Red Wolves have had some big plays tonight. Could use one right here that played in the first half where Davis got loose for 46 yards. Again, not maybe the running back that Edwardsburg was keying on, so he was able to get a nice carry and a good run and a touchdown.
Well, they'll split the tight end, Troy Vandenberg, out wide to his right. Hartman, though, looking back the other way. Now looking down the field, going to run out of time and just throws it away. Terrific coverage by the Edwardsburg secondary that time. And Matthew Hartman just had nowhere to go with the football, so 4th down in a punting situation for Paw Paw.
Another 9-play drive. No points from the drive, but again, some time consumed.
9 plays, but they didn't even get the ball across midfield.
5:02 on that possession so far.
And now Troy Vandenberg gets ready to punt to Logan McCauley back deep. The one area where Edwardsburg has not scored tonight has been in the special teams, but they'll try to do something here. We have an officials timeout first. I think Vandenberg has to roll down his pant legs a little bit because he's got to keep the knee pads covered. That's one of the rules. Vandenberg looked like any kid who'd got busted on the dress code. High snap, but Vandenberg with a good kick. McCauley retreats to his 31 and brings it up the middle of the field. Logan McCauley held on to by Vandenberg, and he throws him down with a horse collar tackle at the 17. Well, they didn't get the touchdown, but they got the big play.
That's the big play you're talking about, partner. Pretty good punt, but a big, big return.
McCauley, who Kevin Bartz calls his Swiss Army knife. And he just gashed the defense there, and then Vandenberg, hanging on for dear life, figured it was better to take the penalty than give up the touchdown.
The tackle was made around the 16, so they walk it down to the 8, half the distance.
And for the second time in the second half, Edwardsburg will begin a possession 1st and goal. First after the fumble and now after the punt return.
From the 9-yard line, 1st and goal for the Indians.
All they need to do now is give them a short field, right, partner?
You never want to do that with a good team, and especially one as explosive as this Edwardsburg squad is.
Schwartz is on the sideline saying, put me in.
And the handoff to Jacob Walker, and he's brought down at the 6-yard line, so only a pickup of 3 that time for Walker. Paw Paw has kept him in check for the most part tonight.
27 yards on 4 carries for Walker.
But it's Isaiah Schwartz who's been the hero of this one for Edwardsburg. Schwartz came out of the game here in the 3rd quarter with an ankle injury. The pitch to Logan McCauley. He wants his 3rd touchdown of the night, and he got it. Touchdown, Logan McCauley. And Edwardsburg ramps up the score to 42-14. And the celebration is on at Leo Hoffman. McCauley making a great cut and then dragging the tackler into the end zone with him. Thanks to Elite Performance Center for the replay. Thanks to Tony Godesky, Tony Godesky Farm Bureau Insurance for sponsoring the TD, and Papa's Pizzeria for the kick by Trevor Houseworth, which is up and good. 43-14, one more look at the touchdown. And even the quarterback in on the blocking that time.
All hands on deck.
That's the thing in this offense. Running backs are going to be asked to block.
Folks, Dan's Tree Service wants to congratulate the Eddies. They've had a great start to this season. Dan's Tree Service has a wide range of services offered, including bush removal, stump grinding and removal, tree pruning, and much more. Call today for a quote on your next project. That number is 361-9747.
Before time, Workforce Solutions sponsors our factoids, and here's one for you. Edwardsburg came into this game averaging 352.6 rushing yards per game, and they're right around that tonight. But no individual entered the game with over 300 yards rushing. As Bo Schembechler would say, the team, the team, the team.
There's an M in team, isn't there? Also a big M in the middle of the field up there at Ann Arbor.
So this Edwardsburg team continues its dominance. And now Trevor Houseworth on to do another kickoff sponsored by Papa's Pizzeria. Cullen Sylvester waits back at the goal line. High spinning kick away from Sylvester and into the corner of the end zone for the touchback. So again, Paw Paw has to start from the 20-yard line. And think sometimes people get so caught up in the offense and the defense of this team, Bob, they forget about the special teams and what a weapon Houseworth is.
He really has been tonight. He's had a great game, and he did have a wonderful kick early in the ball game that went about 70 yards, but they said it went in the end zone, so didn't get all the yardage, but heck of a kick. He's a weapon for sure. Folks, the American Legion Post 365 is proud to sponsor the Edwardsburg Eddies on TV 46. Don't forget Fish Fries Friday, the first and third Friday of each month. And Take Two is playing November 6th. It's open to the public for this event. For more information, check them out on the Facebook. And that is the American Legion Post 365.
Paw Paw does what it does, and that's running the football. And Cullen Sylvester with another carry. This one only for about a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9. The Edwardsburg defensive line has really dominated the line of scrimmage since the first drive of the night by Paw Paw.
Puts Sylvester at 30 yards in the ball game, but he's done it on 15 carries.
Landon Michael, Brennan Brady Britton, and Jacob Edwards really doing the job up front. On 2nd and 9, the handoff to Sylvester again, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage as Edwardsburg just staying sharp out there. A.J. Harris making the stop that time, the 5'10", 230-pound junior tackle.
Keep in mind that Edwardsburg is playing without one of their starters in the line. A two-way performer. Ben Miller.
Terrific interview at halftime with him and with Dennis Stride Jr.
Yeah. A couple of outstanding. We had the #1 student athlete at Edwardsburg, #2 student athlete at Paw Paw. What a treat it was to meet those two young men.
3rd and 8. Play clock down to 5. Hartman hands it off, and just no room for Carter Planger to run as Brendan Seabolt, the linebacker, meets him there. Seabolt, a 5'7", 165-pound junior. So 23 takes down 23, and it'll be 4th and 8. And another punt for Troy Vandenberg coming up.
Still 3:15 to go here in the third quarter.
Edwardsburg just wears teams down. And keeping that fresh wave of players going out there, and you can start to see some of the fatigue for Paw Paw. McCauley takes this punt back at his 46. This time he's running left, and McCauley takes it inside the 40-yard line, and Edwardsburg will have outstanding field position. This whole second half has been played in Paw Paw territory so far.
2:51 to go, and they'll have good field position again. And I'm sure that we're probably going to be seeing some backups for Edwardsburg at the end of this third quarter.
Well, we've already started to see them filter into the game, and it really makes no difference in their performance. They have been stellar so far tonight. 1st and 10 from the 40. The handoff to the last man through, and that's Connor Ostrander taking it up to the 32-yard line for a pickup of 8.
Ostrander's first carry of the night. Folks, Elite Performance Center on M62 is a proud supporter of Eddie's Athletics. They offer everything from athletic-specific training to group classes for cycling, bar, and yoga. Visit eliteperformancecenter.net for more information.
2nd and 2. Eddie's handed off to one of the up men, and plowing his way up the field, that looks like Andrew Colvin that time. Colvin's 2nd carry of the night gets a 1st down, and it's sponsored by Smith's Chapel and Bullock Farms. '23-yard line is Kevin Bartz looking at career win 199 coming up tonight. He hopes to get number 200 next week at Otsego. 1st and 10, the pitch out here, and speeding his way up the field and to the end zone for the touchdown, Edwardsburg. Mikey Pryor takes it on in for the score. Pryor got the start tonight at linebacker, put in as a reserve running back, and he takes it 24 yards for an Edwardsburg touchdown. And that will spark running clock in this one.
Boy, a chance to put a 5-0 on the board here with an extra point.
That is what the Eddies came in averaging, 50 points a game. The basketball team would be happy with that. Snap, set down, and kick all good for Trevor Houseworth as we take another look on the Elite Performance Center replay at this Mikey Pryor run as he serpentines his way through the Paw Paw defense.
Very impressive. Folks, Smith's Chapel and Bolac Farms are proud supporters of Eddie's Athletics. Beautiful, affordable venues for your wedding reception, corporate event, or family reunion. Learn more at thesmithschapel.com.
So Edwardsburg, which once led only 22-14 in this game, midway through the second quarter, has put 28 straight on the board and opened up a 50-14 lead here on Paw Paw. This was a Paw Paw defense that came in playing pretty well, only giving up about 15 points a game. But when you take on this beast of Edwardsburg, that's a whole nother story.
I go to Bo Hunt here in a minute. I've got a question for him because he was part of some great teams at Bremen High School, and they showed much of the same thing I'm going to talk to him about, but we'll get to that in just a moment.
Papa's Pizzeria sponsors the kickoff here by Trevor Houseworth. And Houseworth booms another one into the end zone.
Bo, I just wanted to say that when we got here tonight, a lot of the Edwardsburg players were walking into the locker room, and they were, they weren't cocky, but they're striding with confidence, like they expected to come in, go to work, get the job done. And I looked down that sideline, you're up 50-14, and they still have that look of, I'm at the office, I have work to do. What an outstanding effort for Edwardsburg.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is just, it starts from the coaching staff and it builds its way down. And you have to have that confidence in every single game. And that's what I talked about before the game. You have to believe. And that's what a team that has to come in here, they have to believe. They have to have that little bit of a chip on their shoulder that shows that confidence that they believe they can win no matter what in certain games. And Edwardsburg just believes that they can win every single game because they have that little bit of chip on their shoulder. It's not the much of a cockiness or anything like that. It's just the attitude of, I got this.
Matthew Hartman with quite a quarterback scramble and then a flip over the bench at the end. Goes out of bounds after a first down at the 47-yard line. But remember, we have a running clock now for the rest of the ball game. Only time the clock will stop is if a timeout is called or on a scoring play.
27-yard carry for Hartman. Gives him 26 yards on the night. He was dropped a couple times behind the line of scrimmage. Folks, Amore Pizza wants to give a shout out to the Red Wolves. Great start to the season, fellas. Come on down for fantastic sandwiches and outstanding pizzas, including Chicago style. At Amore Pizza, when you're at our table, you're always family.
Paw Paw will let the clock expire here for the third quarter. And it was a third quarter dominated by Edwardsburg. Isaiah Swartz continued his great night with a fumble recovery. Then Logan McCauley found the end zone not once but twice in the stanza before Mikey Pryor would take it on in for a score. And Edwardsburg rolling. There you lead it 50-14 on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Bo Hunt has a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo, at the beginning of the game, we compared Edwardsburg to what Penn used to be. Is there a team in Indiana now that you would compare Edwardsburg to?
Well, that's one of the hardest things, and I was talking to some Edwardsburg people here on the sideline throughout the game, and they are asking me that same question: who do we compare to down there in Indiana? And I think one of the biggest things is we need to get Edwardsburg down to Indiana and play in some games now. I mean, it's so close to Mishawaka and Penn and, you know, Marion, so many schools within the area with Concord and stuff, but to be able to relate back and forth, I mean, we kind of look at the Mishawaka. We kind of look like a Northwood. They got the speed of what we saw with Northwood last week on defense. They got the running ability of the Mishawakas and stuff like that. But it'd be just great to see this Edwardsburg team be challenged a little bit, get them ready for that playoff, and maybe have a little bit of adversity throughout the year to prepare them for that playoff run that they've had for the last few years.
Dan's Tree Service sponsors our fourth quarter here as Logan Leonard carries for 6 yards. Bo, you bring up a really good point, and I'm not sure who I would compare them to as well, but I was talking with Kevin Dean, the Edwardsburg athletic director, and one of the problems the Eddies have is they're hamstrung in by the size of their conference. As on 2nd and 4, Hartman hands it off, and the carry goes up close to the first down marker by Carter Planger. But Edwardsburg is mandated by its conference to play everybody in the conference. Well, there's 9 teams, so 8 of their 9 games have to be conference games. They only have one non-conference. This year, they played the Division VI state champion, Montague, handled them 36-0. I'd love to see them line up against a team like Mishawaka or Concord. Even Elkhart. I can imagine that Elkhart-Edwardsburg rivalry would be huge. But you have to have some schedule availability to make that happen. Here's the handoff to Cullen Sylvester with a stop-and-go move. He's brought down at the 40-yard line. And, Bob, the team I compare to in terms of what they've now been able to do with their schedule since the NIC got restructured is Penn. You saw that Penn was able to go out and play big teams. Now, they took their lumps doing that this year. They went 0-4 against those big teams. But if Edwardsburg's conference gets smaller, then options will open up.
Well, it'd be nice if there was a couple of divisions with that many teams. But the other thing is, you know, to make the playoffs in Michigan, you got to have a certain amount of points. You have to play a certain amount of teams. And while it would be great for them to go down and play one of our teams in Northern Indiana, they got to make sure they get the points that they need to make the playoffs.
So here's Planger, and he carries for a first down for Paw Paw up to the 30-yard line. Carter Planger having a nice season for the Red Wolves. Had 70 yards and a couple of touchdowns last week. 6 foot, 170-pound junior.
31 yards rushing for Planger. 31 also for Sylvester. 46 yards for Davis. And he got that on 2 carries tonight.
So Paw Paw looking at a 1st and 10 here from the Eddy 30. And flags thrown and whistles blown. Looks like we had some illegal motion that time.
We haven't had many penalties in this ball game. That double penalty in the first half for Edwardsburg was not a good moment, but other than that, it's been pretty well played. Folks, the Green Jacket at Four Lakes in Edwardsburg is proud to support the Eddies. Open to the public Friday, all-you-can-eat fish, and extended hours on Fridays for Eddies games. Come on, check them out at the Green Jacket at Four Lakes.
So the clock stopped as the officials sorted out the penalty that time. But they should start it up again here very soon. And they do.
She's running pretty quick here, fourth quarter, but we saw some outstanding football in this game tonight. Great to be up here in Edwardsburg.
1st and 15. Hartman hands it off to Carter Planger again, and he dives forward for about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 12. Paw Paw with still much to play for this year. Matt Stevens would love to get them to the playoffs for the 4th straight year. But they have some tough games coming up. They still have to face teams like Plainwell and Vicksburg.
Yeah, the only loss coming into tonight was an overtime season opener against Three Rivers quality program. So this has still been a terrific start to the season for Paw Paw.
2nd and long. Hartman hands it off. Good solid run here by Zion Davis. And Davis with that burst of speed takes it inside the Eddie 5-yard line all the way to the 3. He'll get another look from the Elite Performance Center replay. Really been impressed with the speed of Davis in this game. He would appear to be by far the fastest man on the Paw Paw team, although I'm told freshman P.J. DeYoung runs it pretty well as well.
Nice carry there by Davis. He's had 2 of the longer carries tonight.
That one was a 32-yarder.
So he has 78 yards rushing on the night to lead all ball carriers for Paw Paw.
He will get the handoff here, cut it inside, ball pops loose. And who got it? It looks like the Eddies have it, and they do. It's a touchback. Edwardsburg with the fumble recovery. Davis was so close to getting across for the touchdown. We've got it from the low angle here. And let's see. No, it got popped loose before he got in there. So a terrific play by Zach Bartz to pop it loose. Nick Eaton made the fumble recovery. And we'll take a quick break. 7:08 to go. Edwardsburg up by 36 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you by TCU, empowering members for 90 years, federally insured by the NCUA. And Paw Paw takes a timeout with 6:29 to go.
Lori Bauer State Farm in Edwardsburg is proud to support the Eddies. Call Lori Bauer State Farm for your home, life, and auto insurance needs.
Well, we mentioned Kevin Bartz looking for 199. Not quite on the Mount Rushmore of all-timers of Southwest Michigan, but getting real close as Before Time Workforce Solutions sponsors our factoids. Denny Dock, the all-time leader down here. Joe Groh, longtime coach at Decatur. Ike Mullenkamp had those great teams at St. Joe, including Rob Fredrickson, who went on to play for the Raiders. Scott Shaw, back to Poston wins again at Niles. He's at 203, trying desperately to stay ahead of Bartz, who should hit 200 next week at Otsego, barring a major miracle.
Really proud of what's going on at Niles High School this year. They've gotten up off the mat. They're playing very competitive football.
They were in a defensive match with Plainwell tonight over at Viking Field, but can't say enough about the job Kevin Bartz has done here at Edwardsburg. And you look at his staff, he's got 3 former head coaches on his staff. Randy Brooks was at the Wajack. Gandalf Church was at St. Joseph, and that's his son in there now playing quarterback, Zach. I asked Kevin this week, does mom ever complain about Zach's playing time at quarterback? He says she hates when he's in the game.
Yeah.
She likes it when he holds the clipboard over on the sideline. Zach Bartz hands it off, and a good run here for Edwardsburg. Takes it out to about the 28-yard line. That was Brendan Siebold that time with the carry. Siebold with his 17th carry of the year, and that puts him over the 100-yard mark for the season. Member of the baseball team here at Edwardsburg. Don't forget our post-game show coming up tonight. Bo will talk with our player of the game. It's sponsored by Turfmen Lawns. 2nd and 3. Hand off to the trail back coming through, and he's greeted rather rudely by Logan Leonard and company. As that time it's Slomfoot on the carry.
Front Door Real Estate Team is proud to support the Eddies tonight's game. They're licensed in Michigan and Indiana. Call Front Door when you're making your next move. Front Door Real Estate Team, opening the door to your dreams.
We've got an injured Eddie player down on the field, and the training staff will quickly go out and tend to him, as it'll be a 3rd and 1 coming up here for Edwardsburg. Certainly want to thank all the great sponsors that have supported us in this game tonight, and that would even include the folks up in Paw Paw who jumped on board for this one.
It does. The Thomas Brothers Equipment Sales in Paw Paw congratulate the Red Wolves on a great start to their season. Since 1936, Thompson Brothers has specialized in out-of-the-ordinary farming needs.
Reminder, we've got more high school football coming your way next Friday night. We go back into the state of Indiana for a big school game in the NIC. Penn had it rolling tonight against St. Joe, and they will take on the New Prairie Cougars, who defeated Arsenal Tech. So it's Penn and New Prairie for first place in the NIC Big School Division. That comes your way next Friday night, 11. Saturday morning at 9, we'll let you know on social media whether we can live stream that one as well.
Sporty's Pub and Veranda Grill wants to give a shout out to the Red Wolves on a great season so far. Sporty's is open while the street is under construction, so come on down for great burgers, smoked pulled pork, and brisket.
So as they still tend to the injured player out there for Edwardsburg, we will take a break. 5:38 to go. Edwardsburg up 50-14. You're watching high school football on TV 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by St. Andrews Products, clothing the PGA and TV 46 Sports since 1989. Blake Majeski being escorted off the field. He'll go directly to the locker room, but he is walking under his own power. Couple of finals to pass along in Michigan tonight. Lakeshore beat Battle Creek Central 21-13. And Plainwell over Niles 14-2. It's a running play and a quarterback keeper for Zach Bartz. And Bart spins his way down to the 47-yard line for an Edwardsburg first down. It's sponsored by Smith's Chapel and Bullock Farms. And you'll get another look here on the Elite Performance Center replay. Brendan Brady Britton out in front of Bartz, driving people all the way to the track.
Pretty nice rushing average for Bartz. 1 carry, 23 yards.
And there was a flag on the play, apparently, so the officials will sort this out. So much for our running clock.
April's Teapot Dome Restaurant is proud to support Red Wolves Athletics. April's Teapot is at the corner of M51 and Red Arrow Highway. Stop in for the best breakfast or lunch in town. They're open 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. daily.
So they called a personal foul on Brennan Brady Britton for taking the player out of bounds all the way to the track. Berrien Springs, Elliott Uzelak continues to win. His 9th-ranked Shamrocks beat Buchanan tonight 48-12.
Wow. What's he going to do when he grows up?
Well, he's never going to retire, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
Oh, he's been a gift, isn't he? Getting to see him so many venues and doing a great job.
So the personal foul moves it back to the Edwardsburg 37. Bartz hands it off. And this is Colvin again. Andrew Colvin carrying it for 8 yards on his 3rd carry of the night. And another flag is thrown as things are getting a little chippy out there on the field.
Folks, the Outside In is proud to support Eddie's Athletics. The Outside In offers massage therapy, holistic wellness, infused oils, as well as a sauna and all natural homemade soaps. Visit the Outside In on Facebook to learn more.
So we'll see what this personal foul call is. We can also give you some finals from Indiana tonight. LaVille beat John Glenn 14-7. Jimtown over South Bend, Washington 62-16. Warsaw down to Wawasee 49-7, and Marion shut out Angola 42-0. So we have another personal foul. This one's called against Paw Paw, and the player has been ejected from the game.
Well, that probably carries another half of a suspension for next week.
So now the ball marched back into Paw Paw territory down to the 40-yard line.
Partner, you did mention a minute ago that there's supposed to be a running clock in the 4th quarter, and it's taken almost longer than the 3rd quarter.
Well, that's because we've had these personal fouls and summit meetings that have lasted longer than Yalta. Bartz will hand it off again, this time to the trailing back, who's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And it's Mikey Pryor with the carry that time. So 2nd and 10, but the clock will now tick. Paw Paw will fall to 4-2, and Edwardsburg will go to 6-0. And by the way, the 6th win, that basically guarantees them a playoff spot, as though it was in question. Bartz hands it off up the middle. Nice carry here. Bowling his way inside the 25-yard line. That's Nick Eaton. Eaton, who had the fumble recovery in the end zone a moment ago, carries it for 17 yards and an Edwardsburg first down. It's sponsored by Smith's Chapel in Bullock Farms.
Met Mr. Eaton's parents on the way into the game tonight. Very excited. Their son, who's a senior, could get some playing time tonight, and he did.
No, very hospitable greetings from the people here at Edwardsburg tonight. Here's another handoff up the middle. This is Colton Strauderman, and Strauderman takes it down the field for about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. One of the Edwardsburg players lost his helmet, so he's going to have to check out of the game for a moment. Aiden Johnson.
As expected, Bartz has done a pretty nice job in there at quarterback. I imagine he's been not a gym rat, but a field rat, watching his dad coach and watching the guys play and learning from them. Figura does a nice job at quarterback, and it's always nice to have a backup who's available.
And he has scored a couple of touchdowns this year for Edwardsburg in mop-up duty. Here's another handoff. This is going up the middle. Siebold to the end zone, touchdown. It's sponsored by Tony Gadecki, Farm Bureau Insurance. Brendan Siebold with the touchdown. That's his 3rd of the year.
This is one of the things, Chuck, when you're looking at the box score on an Edwardsburg game, you say, well, nobody had an outstanding night tonight. Well, in this case, it was Schwartz with 181 yards rushing. But there's so many players who contribute that nobody, when you don't care who gets the credit, a lot of things you can do, and that's one of the Edwardsburg strengths.
Trevor Osworth's extra point, sponsored by Papa's Pizzeria, is up and good. 57-14 Edwardsburg. My, oh my, how this thing has changed in the second half.
Almost reminds you of the Notre Dame win over Wisconsin. Back and forth, and all of a sudden, the 4th quarter, 31 points. And that's just what the Eddies can do.
It was a 29-14 game at halftime. Paw Paw was starting the second half with the ball. We thought if they can go down the field, they might be able to hang. They fumbled on the first play from scrimmage, and it's been all downhill after that.
Well, momentum is certainly wearing a blue jersey there at the start of the second half. Everybody getting in the act tonight. We had the Neon group cheering. The cheerleaders doing a great job. I thought their band was impressive to start the game. I know we always kind of tease Dean Korsmo about getting more shots of the band, but they did a nice job with the pregame festivities. Just great to see everybody involved in what's going on here.
And you see everybody out there on the field. By the way, Justin Fisher returned at quarterback tonight for Mishawaka. And no coincidence, the Cavemen beat Northwood by a count of 40-20.
Wow.
Fisher returns with 148 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Chase Gooden, 166 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
And his brother Brady is really upset. Actually, probably very thrilled that his brother's back. What a terrific young man from a great family. He's had a lot of great moments at Mishawaka High School. CJ just had a birthday, by the way.
Yes, he did. Pride of Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Papa's Pizzeria sponsors the kickoff, and it goes into the end zone for the touchback.
And once again, the clock stopped, but now it's running.
So Paw Paw will see what they can do with the final 2.5 minutes of this one. But Edwardsburg rolling tonight.
For the Red Wolves, 2:23 and counting in the ballgame.
A lot of new bodies out there, even on defense now for Edwardsburg.
And let's see if Paw Paw sends any new bodies out there as well.
Well, our sincere thanks to Kevin Dean and the great staff here at Edwardsburg. Talk about making us feel welcome, and really appreciate all their help and cooperation with our broadcasts. Couldn't do it without them.
Few new folks out there for Paw Paw as Tyler Southworth, the backup quarterback, is out there. And he hands off to P.J. DeYoung, the freshman, who was just promoted from the JV a couple of weeks ago. DeYoung, with his first carry tonight, loses a yard. But Matt Stevens very high on this young man. Believes he can make an instant impact on his program.
Second down and 12. Ball to 18-yard line.
Paw Paw looking at a 2nd and 12 here. And draining as much of the play clock as possible. Houseworth, the son of the Paw Paw principal, hands off. And the ball carried upfield that time by Nico Martinez. Martinez good for about a 4-yard pickup that time to the 23-yard line. Paw Paw will have to snap it one more time, and then this one will be a fait accompli.
It'll be in the books.
Edwardsburg moving to 6-0 on the season, ranked number 2 in Division IV. Only Chelsea ranked ahead of the Eddies. Paw Paw will fall to 4-2 on the campaign. The handoff going up the middle, and ball carrier stopped, and that'll do it. The Edwardsburg Eddies are triumphant again. They win their 35th consecutive regular season game and their 29th straight in the Wolverine Conference as they knock off the Paw Paw Red Wolves tonight by a final score of 56-14. Don't go anywhere. The Turfmen Lawns post-game show is coming up next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by.
Welcome everybody to the Turfmen Lawns post-game show as the Edwardsburg Eddies head off the Leo Hoffman Field turf with a victory tonight, 56-14 over the Paw Paw Red Wolves. They win their 35th in a row during the regular season, their 29th consecutive Wolverine Conference game. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel high above the fray. We expected Edwardsburg to be impressive, and we were not disappointed.
No, we weren't, but we're also impressed with Paw Paw and the effort they gave tonight. But, boy, as you said, Chuck, in the second half, they just wear you down. They continue to execute. They have so many guys who made big plays tonight. Now, obviously, there was one who had more big plays than the others, but what an outstanding team effort, and Kevin Bartz just continues to do it well.
Very rarely will you see an Edwardsburg player just rise above the rest, but it was pretty easy to pick a player of the game tonight, and he's standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Isaiah Swartz. First off, congratulations on this big victory you guys had here tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
You guys come into the game, a lot of guys, nobody over 300 yards rushing, but a lot of guys carry the ball. You carried the ball 5 times tonight, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns, a fumble recovery. Just talk about your performance tonight.
You know, I couldn't have done it without my line. They create the holes that I have to hit and just do my job.
You guys have got this culture here. Coach Bartz has got this culture going forward. You haven't lost a game since 2017, your 8th grade year. They have not lost a regular season game. What does it take to do that?
It's just blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, we bleed with these brothers, so it just becomes a brotherhood at that point.
You guys put so much work in the offseason. You have so many seniors and upperclassmen on this team. A lot of area schools, they lose those upperclassmen. What does it take to keep those guys in the program?
Really, it's just no days off. In the winter, we're in the weight room hitting weights so we get stronger, faster, just all around better.
Hey, thanks a lot for being our player of the game.
Thank you, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Bo. And the Paw Paw Red Wolves sorting things out down on the field. Matt Stevens will have to regroup his team, but there are lessons to be learned from a game like this, and you made the point several times in the first half. He's got to be proud of the effort from his team, and I don't think the effort was ever waning for Paw Paw. They just don't have enough bodies.
Right, and they lost to a better team tonight. They did get the nice pick 6 for a touchdown. That was nice. And they had a couple of nice runs. But, again, this is a very good team at Edwardsburg. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Paw Paw winds up number 2 in the conference again this year.
And they could well make the playoffs. 6
Right.
wins get you in. They're 4-2 right now. They have big games coming up with Plainwell and Vicksburg. Edwardsburg now already into the playoffs. The big thing next week, the chance for Kevin Bartz to get career win number 200.
Congratulations, Kevin. What a great effort.
So Turfmen Lawns postgame show is over, and we want to thank our TV46 crew who did another splendid job leading the way tonight. Our producer, Dean Corsmo, Tony Beltran pushing all the buttons down the truck, and the usual great cast of men and women who help us out each and every Friday night. A reminder, college football on the radio tomorrow at noon on 103.1, 92.1 to 96.9. It's Purdue football taking on Minnesota, and then 103.1 at 7:30 has Indiana and Penn State. And next Friday night back into Indiana for an NIC big school matchup. Penn visits number 10 New Prairie with first place in the conference on the line. Now, don't forget to follow us not only on Twitter and Facebook, but Instagram as well. For my Hall of Fame partners, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Edwardsburg 56, Paw Paw 14. So long from Pierre, Michigan.